Well, it's a big ball game here against the Rangers of Wisconsin Parkside. A big GLVC matchup. We'll talk more about some of the first half action here right after this. The Rangers from University of Wisconsin Parkside, 7-15 overall this year, 4-11 in the GLVC. University of Southern Indiana, 17-4, looking for their next 21 season. 12-2 in the GLVC as they lead all in the GLVC. Parkside 9th in the league. And Brian, this is a big one for Parkside. They're trying to play for tournament time here at Roberts Stadium. And, you know, this is a team that has been in the tournament before, the postseason GLVC tournament. A team that really strives to get to that mark, and a team that looks like over the next couple of years they might be a team to be reckoned with in the conference.
There's no question, Troy. This is a big game for them. They come in here currently, they're 9th in the conference, but they are the 8th team since Kentucky Wesleyan cannot play in the postseason this year. But Bellarmine is right there knocking on the door. They can't, you know, slip with these last couple of weeks left in the regular season. And they're 7-15 overall, 4-11 in the conference. But what's a better chance to get a second season by making the postseason tournament? Because anything can happen, you know, in the postseason, and that's what one of their goals. And one thing they're going to have confidence in, Troy, is that they played USI extremely well up at their place and actually had a chance to win that game. USI was down by 13 or 15 at halftime up there and had to make a good, strong run in the game to come back and win 62-58. This team notoriously plays well against USI down here. They play hard, they play physical. Even though USI has won 8 of the last 9 games, they always play well down here.
USI leads the series 19-5. Since 2000, USI is 8-1. As you said, Brian, USI's last time up there is 62-58 as USI wins that one. And a big win for USI anytime on the road. They're just 4-4, finally got to 500 after one of the most grueling road trips, which is Northern Kentucky and Indianapolis.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. That's one of the hardest road trips there is now because the conference has really split up the USI Kentucky Wesleyan death trip. Everybody complained about coming down here, although Parkside has to go over and play Wesleyan after this on Saturday. But that's the hardest road trip besides the USI Western road trip. And they come away with 2 victories there, which last year USI lost at both places by 1 point. So that was a big 2 games they got right there.
Well, Lewis comes by way of St. Louis, Missouri before they come here on Saturday. We'll have that game, same-day action on Saturday night. SIU Edwardsville, the last one to beat Parkside, 66-64. A tough loss for the Rangers, but a big confidence builder against one of the top teams in the GLVC. So USI comes out and has to be very happy that they're playing so well. And we'll talk more about that as we talk over starting lineup as soon as we come back in 2 minutes.
Question.
We had some extended player profiles as we're back here at the arena, ready for our national anthem. Sign her up.
American,
she gets this thing
American Idol, here we come.
started off with a bang as we see the color guard work their way off the floor. Brian, as we talked about, just a not necessarily the nail biter that we probably would expect out of some GOVC teams, but one you have to really watch because it's a team that just seems to hang around as they did last time they played Edwardsville. They had Edwardsville at their place, and really they were in the game until late and kind of fought back and almost was able to overtake Edwardsville, which would have been a big win and a big boost for this team who's trying to find that 8th spot in the tournament.
There's no question, Troy, when you play a team that puts up as many three-point shots as they have, they've shot over 450 three-point attempts compared to USI, who shot over, just 362. That's a lot of three-point shots, and they're hitting them at 38%, so they're doing a great job. You always got to be careful with teams that can knock down a three-pointer.
Well, they ranked second in both of those categories you talked about. USI ranks in the bottom, actually, in three-point shots, but maybe that's some of the things that we talk about as we go through the game. We talk about how effective USI is on assists, on passing the ball, on doing the unselfish things that you like to see when you have two teams playing. Brian, we're going to talk about some of the starting lineup. Kid that really does it all for this team, Gareth Volkowski, 17 points a game, almost 9 rebounds. This is a kid that really does a lot. He's just a junior, 6'3" junior from Oak Creek, Wisconsin. They're going to also start Kyle Clark, number 21, 6'4", freshman from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Number 22, Tyrone Deacon, 6'2", freshman from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Number 45, Brad Firstenow, 6'6", freshman from Burlington, Wisconsin. And number 54, Kevin Boutel, a 6'9", 235 junior from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Now USI starting a little different lineup tonight. Starting at the guards, there'll be 3 of them. Starting with Carl Richburg, maybe one of the most improved players on this team, just a freshman. Number 23, 5'9" freshman from Mason, Ohio. Also starting the experienced side, the one that has really changed his game to help this team be a winner, in my opinion. Number 22, Chris Brunson, 6'1" senior from Evansville, Indiana, Rice High School. Starting at the other guard, Mr. Shoot. I'll tell you what, this guy can shoot from anywhere on the ball floor. Jeff Van Winkle, 6'6" sophomore, player of the year last year in the GLVC conference from Ferdinand, Indiana. The guy that seems to be the chairman of the boards, number 25, Chris Thompson, 6'6", 220-pound junior from Stark, Florida. And in the middle is going to be Requay Newsome, number 54, 6'8", 253-pound on the moon senior from St. Petersburg, Florida. Requay has added a lot of different dimensions to this team, but one thing you know, he's always going to play hard, and he's going to watch out. He leads his team in charges.
Oh, there's no question, Troy. He's going to get up his body each and every night for this team. Just loves to play the game. Had to sit out last year with that bad ankle and just having a great season for USI. And ever since he started, he's been playing extremely well.
As we talked, USI has a 12-game undefeated record in the pack this year and really looking to keep that up as they take on the Rangers tonight. Maybe one of the more exciting USI teams I've seen in the past, and they're playing defense.
I'll tell you what, Coach Hurdos will tell you that this team's not as athletic as the team he's had last year, or maybe not as athletic as some of the teams in the past, Troy. But you and I both know playing in college basketball, it's not always the athletic teams that get the job done. Yeah, they went to the championship game last year and finished second in the country, but this team, like you said, Troy, is just playing really good team basketball. The defense, the team defense is outstanding. You beat a guy off the dribble, there's always a big guy right down there for the help side defense. Just doing a tremendous job communicating on defense. And Carl Richburg, you mentioned how great he is, Troy. Co-player of the week last year in the conference as a freshman, just continues to get better each and every game as he gains that confidence in himself.
But Division II Bulletin Player of the Month, Randy Holbrook, is on the bench. Speculative disciplinary action as we are getting ready to jump the ball. Officials for tonight's game, Ron Grimes, Stephen Devine, Merlin Neese. And USI has it.
Well, that's one thing about Coach Hurtis. It doesn't matter if you're the best player or the worst player. You're going to have to abide by team rules, and I'm sure we'll see Randy in there pretty soon.
As the Rangers open up in zone defense, And really, USI has not been hurt when teams go to zone. They've taken it in stride.
Now when you got Jeff Van Winkle that can shoot from about 28 feet to stretch that defense, little 1-3-1 defense. Carl had a good shot, just didn't knock it down.
As the Rangers going to try and run and throws it a little bit too far out of bounds.
Well, I don't
Number
think
22, Tyrone Deacon.
I'm not sure that's one thing that West Parkside wants to do, Troy, is get in a running game with USI. They got to take care of the basketball. You can't turn the ball over against USI.
Deacon, a transfer from Michigan State.
The sloppy pass right there by Jeff.
And really, that's one place where they really like to have Randy Holbrook, a guy that scores a lot of the first baskets for this USI squad.
That's a good point, Troy. He does get off to good starts when he plays here at home, especially. Good
Big
inside
basket
pass.
underneath. Kevin Boutel.
Kevin Boutel got some size on him, big boy. Requay's going to have his hands full tonight.
USI working around Rangers. Very methodical zone. Stretched it to a man. Block shot is Brunson not able to get it off, and it's retained by the Rangers. USI going to come out in a more of a full court press.
Let's try to pick up the intensity a little bit. Coach Curtis is not happy with the effort so far, trying to get the guys going a little bit better. But you look at Wisconsin Parkside's roster there, Troy, they got almost 8 or 10 players from Wisconsin, so they're recruiting the home state extremely well.
And once you hear some of these names, you'll know they're from Wisconsin.
Big, strong Wisconsin boys.
Shot 3 missed. And sloppy hands by Requay Newsom. Yeah, this Parkside team's a team that just seems to hang around, and that's one thing Coach Luke Riegel said in his second year. Really working to make this team a tough team.
Oh, bodies hitting the floor all over the place.
Unable to come up with it is Boutel, his second attempt underneath the basket. USI trying to find the scoreboard.
The zone's got them frustrated a little bit. Got to be patient, move the basketball, spread the floor a little bit.
Block shot.
There's the
Thompson
Chris
comes
Thompson,
up with it.
great.
Boy, he's really going to work himself underneath. Misses his shot. He's going to pick up the foul.
Officials not calling much contact right now early in the game.
I tell you what, USI needs to step it up pretty quick. Last night I got a prime example of what can happen if you get off to a slow start as Memphis comes out and takes care of Louisville at home. And at one point, you know, Louisville's 9th in the nation.
That's a
59 to 31.
That's the game you would have thought Louisville would have won the game before they played. You're right, Troy. You got to be ready to play.
Shot up and in by Firstenau.
Coach Curtis has already gone to the bench. 2 subs. Not happy with his team's effort so far.
David Bryant comes in the ball game for USI. Getting ready to check in Danny Gibson.
David Bryant had a great game against Indianapolis on Saturday. That ball.
Shot up another block shot as
3.
Van Winkle, Brunson, and Richburg, all 3 trying to go up with shots. All 3 getting blocked.
Well, you look at Parkside, they got some size in there. They got some guys with some length. You know, 6'4", 6'3", 6'6", 6'9", so they're getting those long arms out and contesting some shots. USI's got to be more patient. Make that extra pass to get that open jump shot.
Get on this Rangers team that seems to be doing the most damage, number 23. That'd be Melkowski.
Nice move by Requay.
Requay Newsom going to get USI on the board as he sticks with his shot.
The only thing stopping Requay is keeping the hair out of his eyes so he can see. Oh, great block. That's how you stop the fast break. The last line of defense, Troy.
Gibson's going to stop, bring it back out, and set up the O. Thompson very effective underneath. He hits his first basket of the night to knot this one up. 16:23 left in the first half.
Chris Thompson, probably the all-around best player on this team, Troy, as far as doing everything for this team. And it's a great team player. Not worried about individual rewards.
I don't know about on the bus, but I'm telling you, on the floor, You don't hear about him. You just look at the stat book.
That's right.
USI moving the ball around.
Doing a better job being patient now. Inside out. And Requay got it down low. Lost that ball in the shot on the way up.
Almost picked up another foul. As the Rangers getting the ball down the floor.
Oh, great job by David Bryant to draw that foul.
First one on first now.
Super job to get back on defense. That's the thing the press does. You, as an opponent, you think you got a chance to score, Troy, and it makes you rush a little bit and try to shoot a shot too quick.
Early in the game, it's knotted at 4. Among the top in Division I, II, and III.
Just a winning program here. The players that come here know they're going to be one of the top teams in the program each year, night in, night out. So just a great compliment to the program and to the university for getting the type of coaches in here to get this program to where it's at now.
Little tie into these two teams. Playing for Parkside is number 3. You'll see him sometime tonight. His name's Joe Chakowski. He played for Bruce Pearl up at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Transferred in.
Going to have a hold there on David Bryant. Coach Curtis letting the official know that might have been a slip, and my player was trying to help him from falling.
USI always gracious to help their fellow opponents.
And officials.
Well, that's Coach Curtis's job. As it's all tied up, Parkside trying to get an advantage early. They wanted to come out to a quick start.
It's a great job by Chris Thompson to come down and contest that shot. That's one of those things that's not going to show up, Troy, as we got to travel there on Chris Brunson. But that was the one thing that's not going to show up in the stat book there is Chris Thompson contesting that shot to cause the kid to miss that from Parkside.
2 new ones in for Parkside. Steve Madej, number 12, and number 34, Josh Scatrud. Has another foul, this one on David Bryant.
His second foul. I see Carl Richburg back in the game. Coach Curtis reminding these officials this is a GOVC. We don't call touch fouls like that.
And that's about the way it's been. Really, referees have really let the teams play, especially when they've been in the pack. Maybe that's not a thing that some of these opponents want to hear, but it's really how you get ready for tournament play.
That's right. We got some new officials in the GOVC, and the last couple of games we've had here at home, these haven't been many fouls called in the last couple of games we've had here.
First to now, able to come down with it. What looked like a jump ball, he comes down with it and puts it right back up. Scores the basket, takes a 2-point lead on USI, who's off to a very slow start. That's the way to get it going. Chris Brunson.
Chris Brunson uses the shot fake probably as well as anybody in the conference. Shot fake and getting on the bounce to get that open jump shot for himself.
You know, the key to the shot fake, this is going to sound silly, but it's to actually look like you're shooting. Maybe that's why he's more effective. His shot and his shot fake are exactly the same.
Exactly right. A lot of players' shot fake is way too quick. It doesn't fool anybody. Chris Brunson does a good job. Oh, nice move right there.
Well, there's a guy they got to get a hold of.
First and now, great move right there. Nice post-up play.
First and now, 6 points here of their team's 8. Brunson from 3.
He had the shot. Carl Richbrook created the shot for him, just did knock it down.
First and now with a hot hand, he's got 6 points, averages 7 in their first 17 ball games.
They're going to him right now. He's the go-to guy with the John Hoover, the freshman, on him. They're trying to take advantage of the freshman.
As USI better come out quick, because right now
Tyrone Deacon,
this group's all over him.
Knocks down the 3, and USI knows they're going to knock down the 3. Like I said, earlier, 457 three-pointers is a lot of three-point shots, Troy.
I asked them about practice this week. They said, it's ho-hum, and that's not something you want to hear a group that's ready to come out and take care of their home, it's not something you want to hear. Checking into the ball game, Requay Newsom out will be Chris Thompson, as well as Chris Brunson, and Van Winkle checks in the ball game.
USI going with their quickness out there now. Carl Risberg, Danny Gibson, two of the quicker players in the GOVC, trying to get something going on the defensive end.
You know, this is a game where Carl Richburg, the freshman, should try and show himself as a scoring leader for this team. He's got to create some shots. He's got to get himself involved in the offense.
That's a good point, Troy, especially try to get into some transition points, because Parkside definitely wants to get this into a half-court game.
Got a foul underneath the basket on Hoover. Hoover right now is working.
Actually, Hoover
hard.
draws the foul.
Coach Regal on the other side says Hoover's hooking.
Yeah, Wozolowski got the foul there. We'll tell you, Parkside got some good-looking players on this team.
As Hoover is able to score, he gets blocked by the backboard, able to take it back up and scores the basket to bring USI within 3. Ball in the hand of Brad Preston, checked into the ball game.
Oh, great job by Requay to step in and steal the pass.
It's defensive positioning, and Requay Newsom really could teach the class. He's always in the right place on the defensive side.
Carl starting to look more aggressive on the drive. Good double down there by Parkside.
Richburg's going to go from a freshman to a senior in 1 year in some of his experience.
It's true. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, great job. Keeps the bounce alive. Make the shot.
And you know, you can't substitute for game experience.
No doubt. You can ask Coach Hurtis. He's not a freshman anymore. He's got a lot of confidence in his ability. That's going to be a walk.
I tell you what, a great move by Tyrone Deacon, but you have to have 4 steps to do it.
It's not the next level yet.
We're going to take a timeout here. USI to within 1. Chris Brunson, you know, Brunson, since missing a start at the University of Wisconsin Parkside up there in Kenosha, this senior guard has had the hot hand for the Eagles. Brunson averaged 12, almost 13 points, and hit 12 three-point field goals during the last 5 games. This is a kid that has just found himself, and boy, you couldn't expect that at any better time than it is now.
There was no question. He's a senior. He had a little spell there where he wasn't knocking down some shots, lost some confidence. Probably was leaking over into his defensive ability. And Coach Hurtis decided to bring him off the bench, you know, not put so much pressure on him. And like you said, Troy, when he got they put him back in the starting lineup when they came home for that home stretch there when they had 4 or 5 games in a row, and just has played extremely well since then.
Well, you know, there's certain things that you have to do to take a team on to the next level, and this kid has absolutely, and Chris Brunson has done just that. Thompson checks in the ball game for Hoover. Last year in the Division II National Tournament, he stepped up big time, was the player of the game in the championship game, and he led this team from here to there, and just so good in so many different ways to get his team into that championship game. He comes in as a senior, wanting to get back very badly.
There's no question. He realized, I think, the last couple of years that he's not on this team just to score. He can do other things for this team to help this team win, and he's, like you said, he's becoming an all-around complete player, not just known as a spot-up shooter.
Shot up 3, good. Gareth Malkowski, his first three-pointer, first points of the game.
Just seems like he's been around for a long time. He's only a junior.
Starting Richburg, Joe Chekowitz, as we said, the walk-on from University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
We got a charge by Chris Thompson. Kevin Boutel takes the charge. Didn't seem like that big 6'9", 240 man got hit very hard, though, to fall like that.
That's going to bring Hoover back into the ball game just with a quick blow.
John Hoover getting some playing time because Randy's not playing right now, but you got to be ready to play. John hadn't played much the last couple of games, but still coming in there and contributing.
Another three-point shot. It's off.
They get the big fella on the foul.
You know, Hoover plays a lot bigger than his 6'4" frame.
Yeah, they said he won the slam dunk contest. I think that's still out for
review,
but because I wasn't here that night. That's past my bedtime, Troy. But he definitely plays bigger than his size.
Hoover, very explosive jumper, and he's proven it several times as he's trying to break the lineup, a kid that would start on a lot of these schools' teams. Wow, shot you don't hardly see him miss as Van Winkle misses his first attempt from three-pointer. Rangers trying to keep their two-point lead and add to it.
Great half-court defense by USI, always in help position. Right there, an example, good rotation.
As USI knocks it out of bounds.
Not many open jump shots given up by USI. Always a guy rotating over, getting a hand in the face.
USI is a team that normally enjoys the twin tower look with 6'9" Holbrook and 6'8" Newsom in the ballgame. With the ball, Gareth Milkowski. Shot up and missed.
Parkside not setting very many screens. It's going to be hard for them to get open looks if they don't set screens. USI's half-court defense is too strong to try to take them off the dribble one-on-one.
USI is trying to get the lead for the first time in this game, something they don't normally have to try and get. Richburg passes out from 23. That'll be Brunson, his first three-pointer of the game. Gives USI their first lead with 8:16 left to go in the first half.
Good rotation by Parkside. It's going to be off the green, I believe.
Looked like that one was off of Kyle Clark from the Rangers, as USI gonna let Randy Holbrook try to find his way on this floor.
Randy sits out the first 12 minutes. I'm sure he's anxious to get in the game. Like you mentioned earlier, Division II Bulletin Player of the Month in January.
Richburg gonna try and drive in. Nice. As the Rangers will take the ball.
Nice move by Carl. Just left the shot a little short on the bank.
As these guys are gonna go in and talk about it. As we'll take a break. USI, their first lead, 15-14. USI women Lady Eagles playing as they'll be on same-day coverage right before the men's team. So we're going to have both the men's and
double
women's
dipper
team.
On Saturday, huh, Troy?
That's right. Will we be ready?
Boy, we're going to get paid big for that day. Dickie V numbers on that day.
I hope they're listening. Rangers come out with the ball.
USI in a little half-court trap defense, trying to mix it up. Coach Curtis loves to come out of timeouts in that zone defense.
Parkside unable to put a hand on it as they get it down to Holbrook. As we said, this team loves to pass.
I don't know if that was intentional, but David Bryan will take that assist.
The little Bryant flip, as we call it.
A little 3-2,
Van Winkle.
1-3-1, half court. Oh, great job by Chris. Just took it away. 2-on-1 break. Nice break. Oh, Chris should have shot that, Troy.
One too many. Why not take three? 30-second timeout as we keep it here.
Once the timeout, knows he can't let this game get out of hand here. Can't let USI feed off the fans.
A little under 7 minutes left in this first half, and USI got their first lead about a minute and a half ago at 15-14, and from there they've taken off.
Got a
9
little,
unanswered points.
that little defense mixed it up a little bit for USI. Got that little 1-3-1 going. Caused a turnover there. Was able to get a shot, three-pointer. Coach Rigo for Parkside knows he can't let his team get right out of the gym here in the last 7 minutes of the first half. They're playing really good so far and can't get USI any momentum.
I'm really surprised this team has not come out and shot any better from outside. Most of the time, this is the shooter's gym at the Pack, and boy, you see a team that's shooting well from outside, and they come out and really light it up. This team is just done outstanding. The Malkowski kid with almost 4 3-pointers a game, he's just hit one. As we talk about it, let it happen.
They just don't have very many open looks. That time they skip past, got the open shot. There was a down screen there. USI doing a great job contesting all these shots, but they're going to have to set these screens to get these guys open. Randy gets away with the walk, missed the layup.
Kyle Clark with the last 3-pointer is this Ranger squad trying to get the lead.
It's going the other way there.
First now is going to pick up his second personal.
First now was climbing the back of Randy there.
He's going to check out of the ball game. Coming into the ball game be Malkowski. As USI goes to the line, Holbrook to try and check his wares at the free throw line.
Already in the bonus. That's where USI needs to get to. Did a great job over the week, last week, knocking down their free throws when it counted. One reason why Carl Richburg was co-player of the week, Troy, was that he had 17 free throws, I believe, in 2 games. 17 for 17 from the free throw line.
Holbrook 16 points a game.
When you have your point guard knock down free throws like that, that's a good thing.
Holbrook also an 81% free throw shooter. He ranks number 11th in the conference. As he hits both. USI in their press. And that's more or less one and done as the Rangers methodical in bringing the ball down. And Brian, we talked about this this Ranger squad just needing to have some confidence to try and get themselves into Roberts Stadium's tournament, the GLVC tournament. Really a fan favorite for the past 3 or 4 years. The basket scored by Waslowski.
Well, there's no question, and there's a good chance that they do become that A seed. Guess who they're going to play in the first round?
Not so lucky.
But, you know, it's still another chance to continue your play, especially if you're a senior. And Randy steps out like Troy Trinati used to do in high school and knock down the 3-pointer.
That's right. I shot one, and it was preseason.
I don't know. Did they have the 3 back?
I was a role player.
Did they have the 3 back when you played high school, Troy? Oh.
Are you kidding? I think it was an extra foot back.
You decide with a little bit of a smaller lineup, a lot of guard. Oh, almost got away with it.
Steve Madej said I got held a little bit. The ref agrees as they pick that foul up on Jeff Van Winkle, his first. 5:07 left in his first half. USI enjoys a 6-point lead, although it's not been that far ahead
Great
for
hustle
USI.
right there by David Bryant. Got a timeout, I believe.
Call it
Good
timeout.
job by Dave Bryant to jump on that loose ball and get the timeout. Great hustle.
You know, those are some of the things that you try and do to save possessions. A lot of people don't understand why they call timeouts when they're getting ready to run out of bounds or whatever. Sometimes it's the possession that makes a difference. We talk a lot of times about what a press does. We talk about what a press does for a school. USI has used the press many times to their advantage, and one of the things we talked about is the possession or possibly slowing down another team. It's not necessarily the steal every time, do you force them to go quicker down the floor than they're ready to go and possibly make a fundamental mistake on their side?
Well, I can tell you when I played here for Coach Pearl, it was about getting the other team to shoot as fast as they could. When you average 100 points a game, as we did my junior and senior year, that's, there's not much time on the shot clock going off. So, it's like you said, the press does different things for different people. And like you said, it could cause you to take quick shots. It could cause you to go out of control, make decisions that might not want to do as a half-court team as Parkside is. They only average 70 points a game. They don't want to get in a running match with USI.
Holbrook owns the last three-pointer from out top as he's got 5 points.
Well, that's just a bad pass right there, but a great job. Oh,
that's Rich Berg trying to get one back as USI gets this basketball off his alternate possession. As we see, it's a perfect defensive setup. As Richburg goes down, he's able to maintain himself and not commit to the ball carrier, but he's able to play both players and guard them both at the same time. That's what you have. That's what you want to see as good defense from a guy in a 2-on-1 situation.
There's no question. You can't just stand there and be a statue. You have to keep the feet moving like Carl did, Troy. Keep the guy that's bringing the ball up the floor guessing and wondering if you're going to jump him or not, and that's what Carl did. And actually got lucky. I think Mokowski tried to make the pass and hit Carl's back of his heel. Got a little bit lucky there, so whatever it takes to get the job done, and that's what he did.
Gibson and Newsom back in the ball game for USI.
It's a play USI runs quite a bit with Requay and Randy in there. They try to run that baseline flex cut screen, and Randy's got to do a better job holding off the defender. He had him there for the basket if he catches it. Good screen there by Randy. Chris Brunson's going for a three-point play.
Chris Brunson just really going strong to the basket, makes his presence known underneath, and underneath the basket was Clark, I believe. And Brunson hits his. Brunson with 8 points. 28-19, 4 minutes left in this first half.
Crucial 4 minutes for Parkside. That's going to be a foul on Dave Bryan, his third.
Bryant's going to hang out next to Mark Holstetter for a while as Richburg comes back into the ballgame.
When you're out there playing, Troy, and you're really giving it all and you're getting foul trouble early, that can be frustrating.
USI starting to break away, up 9, as we'll be back after this timeout. USI ranks 16th in the nation, number 2 in the Great Lakes Regional. And SIU Edwardsville drops down to 3rd. They're 18th in the nation. As now it really means something to be in the rankings.
There's no question. Big game tonight for Edwardsville, Troy. They're playing at Quincy. Quincy's right there 4th in the conference at 10-5. So big game tonight for Edwardsville.
Brunson leads all scorers with 8 points.
USI
Holbrook with 5.
3-2 zone.
3 minutes in the ball game.
USI doing a great job limiting Parkside to one shot and done.
You know, I think USI is going to start to really look for Brunson as these games, as this season goes on.
That's just too close to the pass to make that kind of pass by Randy. He knows better than that. But you're right, Troy. But it just, that's one thing about this team. They don't have to rely just on Chris Brunson. They're so balanced that if he does have an off night, they got other guys that can step up. Chris Brunson's not even one of the top 3 leading scorers on this team. It shows the balance this team has.
USI's head coach Rick Hurtis in his 4th year, 92 wins. As Milkowski,
just great player, hunting for his shot. Doesn't need, kind of like a Jeff Van Winkle, doesn't need a lot of time to get that shot off. Catch and shoot.
Wow, in and out by Richburg. We talk about Coach Rick Hurtis on his trek to 100 wins for USI. He could do that if he wins out and wins the second game of the conference tournament. shot off. Requay Newsom down with the ball. Richburg ready to push the flow.
This is the part of the game that Carl loves. He sells that open court.
Newsom underneath. He does a drop step, puts it up and in.
Just too big and too strong down there for the Parkside defender that time. Steve Madej couldn't hold him.
There's another big three-point shot and off.
Oh, great rebound on the weak side.
Randy Holberg knocks it out. It's Ranger ball. 1:55 left in this one. USI cruising right now at an 8-point lead. Hoover checks in for Newsom. First now checks in for Wesolowski. Rangers need a basket here if they're going to stay tight before halftime.
Oh, that's a good up and under. Just couldn't finish. Good
Boy,
block
I'll
by
tell you
Jeff
what.
Van Winkle.
You know, you could see the eyes open up for Kyle Clark.
Got some hops.
That's called natural vertical, boys. As he goes
Jeff
high.
Oh, great job by Chris.
That's going to be a push off. Or over the back
sure
for
Chris,
Hoover.
Chris Brunson will wish he had that shot back. I think he thought that was going to be a little bit more contested than it was. But,
you know, a lot of times we see Brunson just take it straight to the ball. That basket, that time he takes it up from about 3 feet. And it is a tough shot. You have to think you're going to get hit, and you have to push that ball off the backboard a certain way. And, boy, just kind of blew that one.
I guess that was John Hoover got that block down there, not Van Winkle, wasn't it?
No, John Hoover.
Oh, well, then he does got some hops.
Yeah.
yeah.
Van Winkle knows better.
Parkside finally getting to the bonus here.
Shot up and missed. USI keeps it alive, but also knocks it out of bounds.
Boy, Coach Hurtis getting somebody off the bench, not happy with a block out.
It looks like it'll be Hoover. Van Winkle checks in the ball game. Leading scorer, 17 points for this Ranger squad. Gareth Milkowski just with 6, and he has the ball. Maybe a little mismatch as he gets it up.
And Gibson extremely quick. You cannot leave him, though.
Turn that in 6 into 9.
I'm sure Coach Hurtis is going to remind his players which guys can shoot on this team.
Well, you're right. Just so quick with his release. It's going to be a foul on Kyle Clark.
It's a good job by Chris Brunson. Draw the foul when you got the bonus. Good shooters want to get to the free throw line. Those are easy shots.
And he will go to the free throw line. Brunson trying to add to his 8 points.
The Parkside did a good job the last 4 minutes not letting the game get out of control. Only go in down at halftime by 5 or 6 is not a bad job here at USI.
88% free throw shooter is Brunson as he hits both. 10 points for Chris Brunson. Leads all scorers. Trying to get it to Malkowski. Does. He's off.
Quick shot.
Big rebound. Nice outlet from Van Winkle. Richburg's going to take it. It's 3. It missed, but Malkowski fouls him, and I've never seen him not call it free shot.
Getting this 3. Carl's knocked down his last 17 shots from this charity stripe.
Well, I tell you what.
That might have been a good thing he got fouled because I think Coach Hurst would have liked to settle for the last shot of the half.
You know, if you're Coach Hurtis, you bring this kid in, and he's been an okay player. He breaks the starting lineup. You're thinking, okay, it's better. He's playing better. He's doing more things. He's now starting to pass and get assists like you want him to do. He's moving the ball. Then he starts to score. And, you know, this kid gets player of the week. You know you got something happen. Like a proud father, he's got to be very happy he brought this kid in, and he's doing so well just as a freshman.
Neither Carl nor Coach Hurtis expect him to contribute this much this early as a freshman. But there's a freshman mistake right there, trying to steal the basketball, Troy. 35 feet away from the basket. You can't do that. They're going to call it every time.
20 seconds, a little over 20 seconds left in this first half, as Coach Hurtis would have gladly let them take the last shot instead of giving them some freebies. Good side of it is USI gets the ball back. Tyrone Deacon, 4 points.
6'2" freshman from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Checking in the ball game.
You think his parents are part owners of the Packers?
Chekowitz. Pewaukee, Wisconsin, this sophomore, played for Bruce Pearl last year as a walk-on.
Pewaukee. 10 seconds to go.
Brunson loses it.
That's not going to. Coach Hurtis won the. Oh, great job by Carl Richburg.
Richburg, another good time on defense as USI goes into halftime, 33-27. We'll talk about some of the halftime stats and statistics as soon as we talk to Mark Hostetter. And you know, you talk about maybe being a little flat tonight, Mark.
Yeah, a little bit of letdown after last week's great wins on the road. You know, we're not being very patient. They're playing a matchup zone defense. We just got to run a regular offense against that. And the problem is, if you set screens, those are the people that get open because everything's kind of like a switch, and we don't have anybody screening. So that's why we're having problems on the offensive end. Defensively, I think they got some offensive rebounds. We know they're a good three-point shooting team, but our focus isn't there right now. You know, we got some things we can work on, rebounding, being more patient offense, setting better screens, and hopefully we can turn this around.
Do you start off any different in the second half than the first half?
Hopefully we start off with a little bit more intensity on the defensive end, and a little bit more attention to detail on the offensive end.
Personnel-wise?
Personnel-wise, we'll probably go with the same.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. As we're going to take a break, going into the halftime action, USI 33-27. We'll be back with statistics and halftime entertainment after this. Out rebounded in the first half. That hadn't happened very often. USI normally 38-31 rebounding edge per game, so this is something kind of new to USI.
Oh, there's no question. I'm sure Coach Hurtis is addressing that at halftime. Not happy with the rebounding. You know, holding them to 35% shooting was good, but his team only shot 44% itself. Probably wanting to take better shots, take care of the basketball. And the rebounding disadvantage there might be because of Randy not playing the first 12 minutes of the first half. You know, he pulls in 5 to 6, 7 rebounds a game. So, I just think that they started out a little slow in the start of the game, and Coach Hurst went to the bench early, got some guys in there trying to let them know that if you're not going to be ready to play tonight, then I'll go to the bench. And in the last probably 8, 9 minutes of the first half, Troy, they picked up the intensity a little bit and was able to pull ahead and get the lead.
Well, something you don't want to see, second chance points. The Rangers with 7 second chance points, and that's something USI normally likes to cut back. And this time, USI just 4 second chance points. The Rangers with 7 points, and that's something they have to be concerned with, as USI leads this one 33-27 as the Rangers 5 of 12 3-point shooting for 42%. It's a team that shoots one of the best percentages from behind the arc as there is in the GLVC.
There's no question, and like USI is probably one of the best defensive teams in the conference, Troy, and it's hard to knock down that three-pointer when you got a hand in your face, a guy running out there, and it's a guy that's 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", with long arms, so it is contesting the shot a little bit. And Parkside really only had maybe 2 open three-point attempts in the first half.
Well, one of the guys that they count on to do the scoring, Gareth Milkowski, he's got 9 points, 4 rebounds for this team, and really pacing this team, as well as Brad Firstenow. Firstenow normally averages 7 points a game, yet he's got 6 here in this first half. For USI, you look at Chris Brunson. Chris Brunson, 3 of 6 field goal shooting, 3 of 3 free throw shooting, 1 of 2 from behind the arc. 10 points for this kid in 18 minutes, and he's really been able to be the spark for USI. As we go to a break, USI nursing a 6-point lead. When we come back, we'll have go over some of the starting keys of the second half and the start of the second half after this. And as the University of Wisconsin Parkside Rangers on the agenda tonight, as USI trying to take it to 13-0 at home, and the Rangers trying to throw a cog in the wheel of USI, hanging in this ball game within 6, 20 minutes left to go.
Looks like both teams go back to their starters here for the second half, and anxious to see how USI comes out the defensive intensity.
Notice Randy Holbrook not in the starting lineup in either half. We get some type of non-conforming word that there's some disciplinary issues to go. Nice move, good block shot. And as Van Winkle picks up the rebound, foul is going to be on Parkside.
Not sure who got the block, Requay or Chris, but both guys there for the help to contest that shot. Just another sign of great defense by USI. You think you got an easy layup, Troy, and next thing you know, you got some 6'7", 6'8" guy come flying at you trying to contest your shot.
That's on Boutel, his 3rd personal. Boutel, the 6'9" kid for Parkside.
Chris Brunson having a lot of success tonight driving to the basket.
Well, you know, I think that's a very important part of Chris's game. A lot of time he tries to hang out there and not use that pump fake and drive in all the way to the basket, and he's so strong with the basketball.
It's a good point, Troy. He's got to become a complete player, and he's done that this year. You can't just stand out there and shoot.
They get Van Winkle from out front.
Jump shots, you got to be able to take it off the bounce. And like you said, he normally would take it 2 or 3 bounces and pull up and still shoot that 8 to 9 foot jumper. Tonight he's taking it all the way to the rack.
That's where you go to the foul line, and that's what Coach Hurtis has to be happy with as
Loose
Thompson
ball.
gets his paws on the ball. This is a kid that Thompson, last 2 games against Indianapolis, 30 rebounds.
Just a warrior, Troy, complete warrior.
As he nails the 15-footer.
He's only a junior. He'll be back next year.
Puts USI up 10. Shot up, no good. Holbrook in the ball game, pulls it down. Going to get him a little bit more involved in this second half. Well, I tell you what, you throw it anywhere near.
Getting ready to say, Troy, he's got the hands, boy. That wasn't a great pass, and he was able to come up with it.
Van Winkle with the 3-pointer, and we're going to have a timeout. Parkside, going to be a 30-second timeout as we look at USI jump out now to a 13-point lead, and more along the lines of what Coach Hurtis was looking for out of this team early on. Holbrook enters into the ball game quick in the second half, and maybe his presence gets his team fired up.
Last time we had a home game here, Troy, I believe we had a winner to enter on this half-court shot.
You can't see it, but we're looking at a half-court.
Oh!
Goes off the back of the iron. As you said, last time we saw this halftime half-court shot, guy got a couple attempts, and Robbie Kent gives him another attempt to hit it. He hits it, and he goes out of here with $5,000 in his pocket. We see little cute ones in the stands. Everybody enjoys the USI ball game. Glad to see him out of the hospital.
He might be.
As halftime scores, SIUE and Quincy all knotted at 28. Umsel right now taking on the Chin by 4, 25-21 at halftime to Lewis. And Indianapolis 45, Bellarmine 28 at halftime.
USI comes out in a 2-3 zone.
Shot up.
That's deep.
And good by Molkowski. His 4th three-pointer. If he goes by his statistics, that's all the three-pointers for the night.
He's 4 for 10 from there. It's hard to go out that far when you're that far behind the line.
Well, I tell you what, Holbrook in that close, you just might as well give him the basket. Don't try and foul him as he gets 2 more.
I believe Mikowski's got the green light to let it fly.
Holbrook, that might be 2, and it is. Intentional foul. Molkowski not necessarily doing the smartest thing. And I don't know whether they're going to count it, but they could.
I think the official was telling the other one the shot went in. They
do count it. Okay. Get out your player's manual.
This could be a
4-point play and the ball out of bounds.
Well, he gets one more shot for the free throw. And then they should get the ball back. Or does he get 2 shots? No, he can't get 2 shots.
I think
he does get 2
shots. 2 shots. As I said, 4-point play.
Wow.
Like I said, well, they say no.
No, I think the scorer was right the first time.
As he gets.
And Randy lets them know that.
Boys and girls, we have referees that read their officials' manual. Holbrook going for a 4-point play.
And actually,
he gets it.
Could be more because USI can hit another two-pointer or 3 here.
And Luke Regal, the head coach of the Rangers. Boy, you can't do it. You can't even call a timeout in the middle of that.
On the verge of getting blown out of the gym here.
Boy, Bronson underneath the basket, and it's all rolling his way.
Again, we talked about it earlier, Troy, taking it all the way to the rim, not settling for the mid-range jumper.
Brunson with 14 points. And, you know, it seems like USI feeds off itself. They're starting to get their mo going, and their defense picks up, and everything starts to go their way.
Good rebound by Randy. Oh, great pass.
Well, as you said, you're not looking at Richburg. He'll break your nose.
I'll tell you what, if they could get up to up-tempo game, Carl Richburg could average double assist easy, Troy. Here he goes.
Look is Josh Scatrud, first points of the night.
He's ready to go.
And it just seems like their passes are crisper. Everything seems to flow when this team is moving.
Another assist for Carl.
Randy Holbrook, another 2. Randy's got 13 points. It looks like Richburg will pick up a foul. Richburg picks up 2 as Reekway Newsom checks in the ball game for Randy Holbrook. Randy goes out 13 points, 16-14 left in this one. USI extends their lead to 20.
Just doing it on both ends of the floor, Troy. Defensively, offensively, transition. Every shot's contested.
Shot up, no good. Van Winkle, another rebound. Van Winkle's been on the boards as of late. Maybe a travel, but gets it out to Van Winkle. Smart heads up play by Richburg. Van Winkle's got to shoot it. Misses.
Oh, great rebound by Chris Thompson and the foul.
And it's all because he kept the ball high. As the chairman of the boards for this Eagle squad, brings that one down, and Thompson able to put it back up. When we come back, Thompson tries to complete the three-point play at the back.
And
14 points, Randy Holbrook 13 to pace the Screaming Eagles as they're leading this ball game by 22. Last basket scored by Chris Thompson. Chris comes down with a rebound, puts it right back up and gets fouled. He's at the free throw line trying to add to this USI lead as USI has come out with effectiveness here in the second half.
Oh, just doing a great job, and this is the kind of play that the fans are used to seeing here at USI. The up-tempo, transition baskets, great defense.
Thompson, one of the top free throw shooters in the conference with 9 points here tonight.
USI stays in the 3-2 zone, mixing up a little bit for Parkside, making them work for those shots. Well, you got Danny Gibson, Carl Richburg, and Chris Brunson out there. You got some guys that can close out quick on those outside shots, Troy. It's not a bad idea to go to a zone.
Boy, quick shot from outside.
Oh,
off.
that's just, yeah, he's just put that up way too far out.
As the ball for USI gets down the floor quicker and quicker. Quick shot from Brunson. He's off. Malkowski brings it down. Tries to take it coast to coast. Brunson picks up the foul.
I believe that'll be Malkowski's first shot inside two-point range he attempted. He's put up, he had 9 3-point attempts in the first half. He's already shot 3 here in the second. Him and Jeff Van Winkle play from the three-point line and three-point.
Neither one of those guys have to worry about making layups. We tease Jeff a lot, but boy, in the last few games, he's been using that. He has that ingrained in people's minds that he's not going to cut inside, and he's been going inside and backdooring some people and scoring some baskets from down deep. Brad Preston checks into the ball game for the Rangers.
He's going to have to be able to take it to the basket like Chris Brunson's done this year. You can't be known as just a stand-up shooter.
Tries to take it in, misses. Thompson.
The one-handed rebound. Good to see David Bryant back in the game. Had early foul trouble in the first half. Had a great game against Indianapolis on Saturday.
Thompson's hand when he went to get that last rebound looked like it was a foot wide.
Got some big hands. It's like a tennis ball in his hand.
Coach Hurst, Coach Hostetter, and Coach Robert Ward on the bench. And boy, you got to really appreciate the job they did in recruiting.
Oh, Chris Thompson again. Just USI continues to get 1-2. You can't give good teams more than one opportunity to score, Troy. As you know, they're going to make you pay.
As Requay Newsom lowers the shoulder and picks up the foul. Requay's first personal, and boy, I'm going to tell you what, I've seen a lot of big men come through this Pack Arena, but I've not seen big men work without fouling like these two do in Holbrook and Newsom.
They do a great job. They complement each other extremely well, Troy. That's a good point. Requay's a little more upset with his teammates not getting the ball earlier when he wanted it. It's going to be a little touch foul there.
It'll be on Gibson, his first personal. Team fifth. 13:52 left in this second half. As we have same-day coverage of USI basketball for the rest of the season, which is this game and the next one versus Lewis. And then USI goes on the road to finish out the season. 4 on the road to try and add to this this awesome run they've had in 7 games.
And the next 4 road games are not going to be easy. The trip to Quincy and at Kentucky Wesleyan.
As you said, February 17th at Quincy, 19th at Missouri St. Louis, the 24th at Kentucky Wesleyan.
It's a great hustle by Dave Bryant.
And Bellarmine finishes out their season before they go to tournament play as David Bryant
giving up
just
the body.
So quick.
Fans appreciate that, Troy.
Boy, it's amazing how contagious defense is.
Oh, there's no question.
When you have good defense, your fans expect it, and they really love to see you shut teams down, as USI has done more than 5 times this year, keeping teams under 60 points.
No question. There's nothing more frustrating to an opponent than getting shut down on the offensive end by a good defense.
The Rangers finding nothing
It's a good shot there by Deacon.
Deacon, his second three-pointer of the game. He's got 8.
Again, that was a contested shot, though. USI playing good defense. Danny Gibson from 3, and look who's got the rebound.
Boy, it's almost like he's just having fun out there. Thompson on the rebound side. Hand off to Bryant. USI very patient in their offense. Just moving the ball at will. Bryant up in the air and scores.
Well, that's one thing David Bryant can bring off the bench, Troy, is a strong guard who can take on contact and can score off the bounce.
Shot up, three-pointer, good. Steve Madej. First 3 points of the ball game.
Parkside's gone to a small lineup, so that's Requay's job to get on that post player at 6'4", so that could be a matchup problem for him. Used to playing close to the basket.
Randy Holbrook getting ready to check in the ball game. 12 minutes left in this one. USI up 17 with the ball out of bounds. Holbrook for Thompson. Richburg for Bryant. And we're going to have a foul. That's going to be on Madej. 6'4" junior from Bristol, Wisconsin. A lot of these guys from Wisconsin. Small school in Kenosha. Joined the GOVC conference, I believe, 4 years ago.
No, they was in it when I played.
14 years ago. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. Pass to Requay Newsom. He'll say, thank you for my 8th point, the easy way. Foul going to be on Richburg. As there's going to be a timeout. USI 59-40, 11:54 here at the Pack, and we'll take a timeout. Eagles on a 7-game winning streak. Hope to make it 8 as we look at the Joe sitting there on the side of the building. 13-0 at home so far. Lewis is the only one that can erase a perfect record at home for the Screaming Eagles on the night of homecoming. Shot up, and it's going to be short. USI Richburg picked that one up.
Little screen there for Jeff. Wasn't there. Oh, that's
underneath
just
the
too
Holbrook. Wow, just right place at the wrong time was Madej.
Madej almost had to call Mayday. Randy didn't have his legs there. He could have had a flush.
Madej picks up his second personal, team 5th. As Randy was going up in the act, so he's going to get a chance. Guy that's shooting 82% from the free throw line.
Pretty good percentage. Of course, for him, he shot close to 90 last year.
Randy Holbrook, 5 free throws so far. A guy that likes to get to the line, and when he does, he makes you pay for it.
I believe he's made a trip to the free throw line more than anybody else for USI this year.
And he makes his 15th of the night. USI leads the league at 76% free throw shooting, as that's going to be what looked like a jump ball as Gibson gets called for his hand in the way. Wow, that was right in front of us, Brian. Looked like he had all ball. And
I think, yeah, that's what Danny Gibson was saying.
Going to send Mokowski to the line.
Mokowski a little shaken up there.
Volkowski 5th in the conference in scoring at right at 17 points a game. 10th in free throw percentage, right around 81% as he misses that one. But Parkside gets it back and sticks it in. That's Scatrud.
Scatrud with a nice move right there. Big, strong boy.
In the ball game is Pearson for USI. Stacy in for the first time. Thompson checks in the ball game for Reekway Newsom. Van Winkle checks out and Brunson comes in.
USI goes back to the man-to-man defense.
10:51 left in this one. USI cruising up 18. As Parkside starting to get on the boards. And that is going to send Scatrud to the free throw line. Foul's going to be on Chris Thompson, his 3rd personal. That's a team 8th. As this game went from nearly 25 down to 18, make it 17.
Well, Parkside can get into the bonus here this early in the second half. They're going to be able to cut into this lead. They can continue to hit the boards like they have been. And they're doing this with the big fella on the bench.
2 of 2 from Scatrud, his 6th point of the ball game. Gets
nice.
it over to Chris Thompson, and he's going to get it.
Can't stop him down low when he gets it that deep.
They try to front him. He's a guy definitely would
Plays
not
a lot,
try to front.
A lot bigger than his size, Troy. The long arms, the great hands. Kind of reminds you a little bit of another player that wore that number here at USI.
I wore 53. I tell you what, those hands, they needed him in the Super Bowl last week, did the Eagles.
They retired that number, Troy.
That's what I thought. 10 points for Thompson.
10 points to go along with 8 rebounds at this point.
As Parkside trying to come down and cut into this USI lead. Quick shot up by Volkowski, not there. Another offensive rebound, this time puts it in, is Clark. Clark's got 5. Van Winkle about to check into the ball game.
Nice steal by Chris. Great move. I would have had a rebound stat.
Thompson missed it, put it back in for 12.
Like he's playing a different level above the rim than everybody else. Little weave.
Jankowicz trying to ruin a backboard. Richburg brings it down.
That's where he loves it, transition.
Brunson off the dribble where he likes it.
He's doing a great job off the bounce tonight.
16 for Brunson. It's Parkside doing a lot more work on the ball as Thompson picks up his 10th rebound for his double-double.
Nothing new for Mr. Thompson. He averages a double-double almost. That's going to be a pass to the first row.
Van Winkle doesn't count on that one as she checks into the ball game. David Bryant in the ball game as well. Pearson and Holbrook. Well, check that. Pearson and Gibson going to take a seat, and Richburg.
David Bryant had that knee trouble, injury early in the season. You can see he's starting to get stronger each game. It's going to be a foul. Take your pick.
Going to be on Chekowicz.
Yeah, Joe Chekowicz listed at 5'8", but he might be a little bit.
I think if they got him hooked up to a light socket, maybe 5'8".
It makes Carl Richburg look tall.
Chekowicz from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Pewaukee, Milwaukee. These Polish names they're kind of tough to get used to, but they start to roll off your tongue after a while.
Jeff Van Winkle hustling down the rebound.
Hits one, misses one. USI gets it back. As they're working the high-low.
Jeff Van Winkle from 25. He'll say, I'll take that. That's a layup for me.
And from high-low to low-high.
From way outside.
Low-high goes Van Winkle as he walks down the other end of the floor saying, you got to guard me. Pass out, shot and miss. Van Winkle, another rebound.
David
He's
Bryant
had a good night tonight.
Yes, he has.
Van Winkle, Bryant not afraid to take it. As Clark going to try and take it all the way. He shoots and he scores.
Tough little shot, fade away behind the backboard.
7 for Clark.
Parkside doing a great job reversing the basketball, get it down to the post. Parkside has to double down, Troy, which leaves open shots like that.
He was too close.
Of course, you know, it must be nice to be a shooter, and you know you got Chris Thompson on the rebound, getting the rebound for you.
You know, it's got to be tough because you don't know who to play off of, because about the time you play off of one of these big guys, then they're going to hit a shot like that. As Thompson just adding to his point totals, he's got 14. Another tough shot.
Jeff
No
Van
good.
Winkle cleaning their weak side rebounds up, and they're going to call a jump ball.
It's going to be a jump ball, but USI retains possession. As it's all USI here in the second half, 6:39. As USI is up and trying to extend the lead as we come back. Really, about the first 10 games in, you thought USI might see a struggling season. And they've just come out in the last 7 or 8 games and have proven that they were the team that everyone thought they'd be, the #1 team in the nation preseason, and a team that really was thought that they were going to run the table with a lot of these squads, and they've done it late in the season, and boy, you'd like to see it late than to do it first and then stall for the rest of the season. As USI has come in and really played well.
There's no question, Troy. People don't forget that they had 7 new players this year. It takes time to develop those new players, and John Hoover strong to the basket, draws the foul. And it just took them time. Like you said, the first 10 games, they got to knowing each other, knowing what each person can do offensively and defensively. And now they're just like a well-oiled machine now. They're playing extremely well with a lot of confidence.
First and now picks up his 3rd personal as Hoover goes to the foul line. Van Winkle tonight, 11 points. Brunson, 16. Thompson, 14. Holbrook, 15. And Thompson's got 11 rebounds to go with his. It's a nice group of scorers right there. Newsom follows up everybody with 8. Molkowski leads the Rangers with 15 and the only one in double figures. Hoover hits the first, misses the second. Hoover's got 3.
Just no easy baskets, no easy shot attempts for Parkside. Just USI working hard on both ends of the floor.
Shot up, misses everything as You have Brunson outlet to Newsom. USI up 24 with 5:48 left to go in this one. One of the teams that's honorable mention, top 25, Ferris State. USI got to see them this year as they lost to Ferris State 82 to 93
Jeff
82.
Van Winkle fading away in the corner. He wants a little challenge to his shot. Hand in the face. I'll just fall backwards from 25.
Next, he's going to be calling his shot.
Nice pump fake there
Van Winkle's fourth three-pointer.
by Firstenau. Good pump fake. Got Requay in the air. Draws the foul.
Gives Van Winkle 14 points here tonight. Average is about 9.
Good job, because Jeff didn't score in the Indy game, so it's good to see him bounce back and have some confidence.
And what's most impressive is they win by 3. He doesn't score in the Indy game. Basket good by Firstenau. Seven points tonight, all right on his average. 6 of those in the first half. Thought maybe he was going to be the go-to guy as he picks up his 8th. Gibson checks into the ball game.
Chris Brunson goes out, gets a nice hand.
Brunson's done.
I'm not sure. Well, yeah, 5 minutes left unless he can get in coach's ear and try to work his way back in there.
Brunson's going to leave the game, and I predict this with 16 points. As USI has handled the Rangers for tonight. Trying to get it into Newsom.
Down to Big Daddy.
Newsom
Oh, nice.
working it.
No, that's not a good call.
You know,
He kept the
foul
foot
would have
down.
been appropriate. Travel, I don't buy it.
Yep, he had to pivot foot down.
Boy, just, I don't know who was underneath, but he's got elbows coming out of elbows right now.
Nice move.
Well, I tell you what, good move, not hitting it, but wow, I'll tell you what, this kid has showed up in the second half. That's Josh Scatrud, and he hits his 8th point.
I'll tell
He's
you,
going to get a chance to get his
he's a
9th.
big, strong-looking boy, 6'7", 250, and them arms are about as big as my thighs, Troy.
That's about right. Scatrud hits it,
Broad shoulders on that young man.
and he's been all about the offensive rebound here in the second half.
He's only a sophomore.
3 offensive rebounds here in the second half. Hoover looking to do something.
Draws the foul. Good job by John Hoover, the freshman.
Should pick that up on Firstenau. Firstenau picks up his 4th personal. Still should be in the bonus. 2-shot foul. And if Mr. Hoover has the Achilles heel, he's been trying to learn free throw shooting off Shaq O'Neal. As it's customary sometimes for freshmen to not be able to hit the free throws. That's really something he's got to work on. And boy, I'll tell you what, from all the coaches that you played for, Brian, they just expect that you're going to hit those free throws. And a seasoned player is a player that they really count on to hit that. And sometimes it matters how much you play.
That's true, and he has not been playing that much lately, but got a lot of playing time tonight. And
well, I'll tell you what, he's on the offensive rebounding again as Scatrud.
just a big body down there. Once he gets position, you're not going to move him.
Pearson with the ball, checks in the ball game.
Your side doing a good job spreading the floor.
Pearson, Hoover, Holbrook, Gibson, and Bryant in the ball game for USI. 7 on the shot clock. 3:37 on the game clock.
David Bryan going with the 1-4 low.
Wow, push off. Bryant misses. Maybe could have picked up a foul, but I think Tyrone Deacon is so light they don't give him credit. Well, I tell you what, if Scatrud makes that, he might call a timeout, take himself
Danny
out of the ball
Gibson
game.
changing direction. Woo, has he got some speed.
Danny Gibson's first points of the ball game.
See guys like Danny Gibson and Carl Richburg in transition, they're like a blur.
Five offensive rebounds for Scatrud for this Ranger squad. He's a little winded.
Yep.
And you can't be winded and let this new squad for USI come down here and run on you. Shot up and missed. It's going to be Madej once again fouling Holbrook, his third personal. Holbrook maybe a half a step slow as he's not able to get around and slam her home as we have a timeout on the floor. USI 79-56 on the Rangers. University of Southern Indiana as USI will go to 13-0 at home with one home game remaining. Same day coverage Saturday night as USI.
Saturday afternoon.
Yes, it is. But it's same day coverage Saturday night, Brian. Holbrook makes this one. Takes the lead back to 24. Checking in the ball game, Shane Sims, junior from El Dorado, Illinois.
Boy, Jeff Van Winkle pulled down 10 boards tonight with 14 points. Good job by Jeff. Two players in double-double for USI.
Holbrook has really had his nose to the grindstone. He's been taking the ball in on some guys. He's been getting the rebounds. A couple offensive rebounds as he's been able to weed his way into the rebounding column. 6'9" turning around, coming up empty. Holbrook playing great defense.
Shane Sims in the game for USI, getting some action. Always good to see these players that practice hard in practice, getting a little playing time. Stacy for three.
Pearson, first points of the ball game. Stacy Pearson, three-pointer.
That's all Stacy Pearson needs, some confidence. He's got to regain that confidence to know he can play at this level. Probably one of the best athletes on the team. Just got to understand the game a little bit better.
Sims.
So Sims going to get in the book tonight, isn't he?
Not the way he wanted to. Fouls Madej. Madej goes in for 3 free throws.
USI got a chance to hold another team under 60 points.
As Madej in, out, and back in. Hits the first one. Hits the second one. Hoover checks in the ball game for Holbrook. As Randy's done for the night. Going to save these guys for Saturday. Homecoming night for USI. Shot missed, and Chris Thompson with his 12th rebound.
Parkside in a little bit of a 3-2 zone now.
Pearson from three.
Get it going.
2 in a row for Pearson as he's got 6. One minute left in this one, and USI's the other direction.
Not gonna
Can you
catch
catch him? They cannot count that basket, but they're talking about it. Pearson got his hand in the way. Otherwise, it doesn't go. Gibson's going to be at the line to shoot 2. First one's up and good. 1 minute left in this one, as USI took off early in the second half and never looked back. Gibson with 4 points on the night. .30-point cushion for USI, who took their first lead at 15-14, and from there ran with it. Shot up, no good. USI gets it back. Can they hold this team under 60 points, as Madej
He's going to shoot 3.
trying to do something about that. Madej just got done shooting 3 free throws, made 2 of 3.
He's going to shoot 3 more.
Gibson fouls, his 3rd personal, but it gives Madej 3 more attempts.
I'll tell you, this gives a lot of experience to Parkside, though, Troy. They don't have any seniors on the roster. They got a lot of freshmen to play, a lot of juniors, sophomores. So a lot of these guys, first time they've been to the Pack Arena, you can tell how tough it is to play here. So the score might not show that they competed, but it's going to give them some experience for in the future.
You know, this is a team that played Illinois, Chicago. They play Bruce Pearl's Wisconsin-Milwaukee team. Play another couple games, Division I, and so they've been able to play in front of people before. And so, you know, their coach said this maybe not the biggest game we played, but definitely a tough place to come in and play, because USI plays so tough at home.
Two-second difference in the shot clock, game clock.
Shot off, rebound, 6 seconds left. 88-61, make it 88-64, as Madej comes out of his shoes in the last few minutes. In this one, as USI cruises to another lead and finishes strong, as USI ends up 13-2, 18-4 overall, as this school is #1 in the GLVC and #2 in the Great Lakes Regional. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go over some statistics, and USI wins this one 88-64. The big story might be Van Winkle and Thompson, both with 14 points apiece, but Van Winkle 10 rebounds, Thompson 13 rebounds, as USI cruises to a 24-point victory here in the pack.